Welcome to Flying SRC. Today I'll be showing you all how to design master planes in Onshape. So first off, what you're gonna do is you can go on the top left and hit create, document, and put in your name. I'm gonna be doing Mitsubishi A6M Zero for tutorial. We'll just do that. And then go down here, hit create. Alright, here's your workspace, all your tools. So you can go to the bottom left, hit insert new tab, and select import. It'll bring up all your files and stuff. Select your 3 view that you've already selected, and it'll load right there. There it is. You go to the bottom, all the tabs, and there it is. I found one that had former cross sections in it, which makes it a whole lot easier. Okay, so you can go to sketch, select your plane. You're gonna choose the right plane this time. And you're going to go out in the middle of the toolbar. You will see this little thing that says DXF. You're going to click on it, hit insert image. Select your image that you just imported. It'll pop up right there, and you draw it out. Just like that. Now, as you can tell, we don't know how big it is, so you're going to hit select line. So you're going to select line, hit construction, and then I like to use the wing as a good reference for scale. So you click one wingtip, bring it over to the other side, like so. Try to line up straight if you can. There, and hit escape. Alright, perfect. Now you're going to go and hit dimension in the toolbar, select the line, and choose the wingspan in millimeters. I'm going to choose 1200 for this one. Good car pack, C-sized. And there you go, auto scale. So you're going to hit finish sketch. Alrighty. So you hit sketch again. Same plane, and you zoom in on your format. I messed up, obviously, former day. Now I select line, construction, so it's a construction line, and you start at the middle, top, middle, work your way down, and make sure it is completely vertical. Let it snap. You'll see why in just a bit. Alright, now I would normally just grab the spline and drag it around like so. But since we're looking at basically a circle here, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to select 3-point arc, which is in the top left right there. Select those. Alrighty. Now make sure it does not snap to full circle, because otherwise the skins will not work properly. You should go chest behind it. And now up here you have your mirror tool. Select your construction line, and then your arc. Now you want to draw these as pretty close together. And that'll leave right here a little ridge almost, sharp edge. And that will help when it's lofting skins. Alright, I'm just going to do the same thing with form B. Although, yeah, same thing with form B. Just doing the same thing I did with form A. And there you go, all done. Now, I don't even think I'm going to use Former B on this one, because if you look, it's basically the same size and shape as Former A. So I think I'm just going to loft from A straight. Well, also use B. I'll probably put it right in front of the canopy, and then have another one from B to E right behind the canopy, and then from E straight to G. Alright, so let's start the do the same thing, construction line, but this time I will be using the spline tool because it is definitely not the circle. You do not want it to snap at horizontal because it'll be stuck there, and you'll have, I mean, you can go back and delete the constraint, but it makes it a whole lot harder when you're designing. Alright, just like that. You do not include that little bit right there that's hanging off because that's actually part of the wing, and we're working on the fuselage right now. We gotta fix any mistakes we made, mix that even. Without following the course, we're gonna make it smooth as possible. That'll make the plane look a lot nicer in the end, although FoamBoard is very forgiving. Alright, there we go. We near that, kind of got an A shape going on. That looks about right. Let's get my bottom here. I know that needs a little bit of work. Just move these around. Set that one. There, that's good. Alright. Now we're going to work on the last former. This is actually just going to be for lofting. This isn't actually going to be a real part or anything like that. Now, we are not going to use that shape in the picture. We're going to make our own, basically a very thin oval, which will work well in the build-up. Alright. And get a line that looks about right. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. We can always go back and change this. We'll use this. I think. Yeah, let's use the spline this time. Make sure it does not snap to horizontal. First, to get a rough shape. And that will do for now. Hit escape. Alright, and now let's refine it a little bit to get more of an oval shape that'll form better of building. You can see what you've got a little bit better. Like this, it's a little too wide. Let's narrow it. Looks close to what I'm going for. You can kind of see what I'm doing. Yeah, we need to fix that. There we go. Alright. It's about the right shape. But let's see how wide it is, because we want it to be around 15 to 16 millimeters. That's 20. Yeah, we need to narrow that down a little bit. All the zooming in and out are not panning, because dude, I'm on a Mac, not my normal Windows HP, and that's just a laptop, so I can't pan. There we go. Let's check. The width pan, 16.5. Yeah, that's pretty close. Alright, and that should be it for floors. Alright, now you want to make some variables. Type in variable, or it'll be in the plane selection. And we're just going to call this one foam. I'm going to set the value to 5 millimeters. Alright, now we're going to make another variable. I'm going to call this one skins. And we're going to set it to 4.8 millimeters, because when you send to 5, they tend to be a little bit loose. So 4.8 should be about right. Alright, we got our variables, so now we can start can extrude the formulas using one of those variables. So select sketch 2 and type in foam. There you go. Alright, there you go, they've extruded. Now, what you want to do is reselect sketch 2, make it visible, and you'll see why in just a second, because now we need to rotate them. So you're going to go up here to transform, select rotate, select your former, and this is very important. This is why we needed that line in the middle in the sketch. So you just select your axis, which is in the middle of the former. You type in 90. Boom, there you go. Now if you're on the side here, you will see. We'll do the same with former B. And as well as P. Such axes. There you go. I do the same with the last one. There we go. Now we don't need sketch 2 anymore. Alright, now we're going to transform again. Select former A. And set translate by XYZ. As you can see, if you move this square around, you get full independent movement of the former. You can use the arrows for more precise single direction movements, like right here. Put it up a little bit. And that looks about right. There we go. Do the same with former B. Translate by XYZ. Bring into position. And that pretty close. I think you kind of see what I'm doing here, and just get them into shape into the position I need to be to get the right shape. There we go. Now this bit right here, as you can see, it hooked up. We're not going to worry about that because otherwise it'll mess with everything and it won't opt correctly. Alright, now former E. Gonna put it right near the back, right behind the canopy. Yeah, looks too tall. I see, because in it's part of the canopy was there, so now it makes it too tall. So we need to go back into sketch 2 and fix that. Regard for me. Yeah, you kind of see now that little divot right there of the canopy. And so we're just going to shorten this down. And you can actually select these and hit delete and remove the amount of lobes in the spline. Makes it a whole lot easier to work with. And there you go, just sort of bring it to shape. This will take lots of minor adjustments to get it about right. And the last shape probably would work, but I mean, I like to get as good as I can. And yeah, they just gotta fix this little bit right here. And yeah, it looks good. Alright. And that should have fixed former E. Oh yeah, it's the right side now. So now we just gotta move it, put it in the right position again. Then we can just reselect transform 7 and move it into the right spot. There we go, just like that. Alright, now G, now looks to be almost in the right spot. Just want to move it just a little bit. Bring it to the left a little bit. Yeah, about that. Okay. There you go. And we got most of our main forms on. So now we can do the fun stuff. We got loft tool. Entry on then we got solid surface, and then you want then. Now select reformer 401 or A. Come back and select tube or B. And there you go. You got a skin. Now you're gonna change this to skins for 0.8 millimeters. And there you go. Done. We got first and done. Okay, now oops, on then. Lofting in from B to C or 2 to 3. Ding. Put it in the right variable. And there you go. 2 skins. Alright, now we're going to do the final skin. Once again, 4.8 millimeters. Alright, there you go. So we got our main fuselage skins done. Looks pretty good. So now we want to make this cowling. It's gonna be a fox cowling. It's not gonna be a real cowling, but it'll make it look like a real cowling. It'll be good. Sorry. Whoops. I don't know what I was doing there. Okay, there we go. So, what you want to do is position this plane at the very front of the cowling. Like that. Okay, now we're gonna make a now we make a sketch. Make a sketch on that new plane. Now we select 3-point arc. Zoom in as much as we can and get it as close as possible to the top of that former and the bottom. Okay. Now we get it to match the other former. Okay, perfect. So now we select mirror. Or no, it's not offset. Select offset. Select the line we just drew and move it in. So now we're basically making a new smaller line or curve in this instance. Change that to 8. Perfect. Now we can just delete this line. Okay, now we go to mirror. Select the middle plane line. Then that. There we go. We have the Lofting sketch. Right, can wash from this former to that sketch you just made. Set this to 4.8 millimeters. And as you can see, You got a pretty cool looking front of the plane now. Looks about right. Alright. It's pretty good. Very. I like it. So now, I'm gonna do cool. That looks pretty good. Alright, so there you go. Now you can see what we've really got going on in our remove sketch one. We can bring it back. And there you go. You can see what we've got going. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make the vertical stabilizer. Sim selects the plane. Alright. Zoom in on the vertical stabilizer. Perfect. And now we're just gonna start sketching it out. We'll be using a mixture of splines and lines on this one. It makes it just to get the right shape. Because just using splines would kind of look wonky, and same as just using lines. You can see right here, this little divot, that would be for the suspension. So we're just gonna drag this line right on over here. That's a little too long. Keep snapping to that reference mark. Yeah, that'll work right there. Okay, so now we'll start on the rudder. Zoom in right here, use that mark, make sure it's horizontal, that's very important. Make sure that one snaps to vertical as well, and then finish it up. And there. Alright, so now what we're gonna do is just close this up, making sure that's vertical. So we're gonna make sure it snaps to vertical. Bring it back a little bit. And then we're gonna grab this other line and connect it. There we go. There's our rudder / vertical stabilizer. Just adjust this a little bit right there. There we go. That's good. Alrighty. Perfect. It's looking pretty good. Alright, let's finish the sketch. Okay. Now we're going to go to extrude. Select the main vertical stabilizer area. Okay. Symmetric. Foam. Alright. And then remove. And we're just gonna select that part 7. There we go. As you can see, it cut right through the top. Alright, now we're gonna make that sketch visible again. Reselect that bit. Basically do the same thing over again, except this time new part instead of remove. Here we go. And now we're just gonna do the same thing with the rudder. Now, one thing you do have to check is that it's new, not add, because it'll remove the control surface hinge line. There we go. Perfect. And we can hide that and see what we've got going. Looking pretty good so far. Hide all the extra stuff. Yeah. You can see that this back skin right here, the former is hanging down way too much. So we can just go and find that former, double click, and just move it up. Just need a little bit more. It's looking pretty good though. Much better. Perfect. Alright, there we go. That's the main fuselage. Skins and former is pretty much done. Alright. So now we want to make the canopy. So we're gonna choose the right plane, make a sketch. And let's just zoom in a little bit right there. Alright. So we're gonna pick line. Choose these 2 points right here on the skin, making sure it's perfect. It's a straight line. Alright. Hide that skin, that way we don't have any interference with it snapping to different parts that we don't want it to. You can grab a line, make that first little bit of the canopy right there. And we don't want another line, we're going to do a spline. Now make sure it does not snap horizontal, because otherwise it'll make it hard to make a nice curve. Just leave it a little bit above and we can come back and adjust it. Alright, so now we just move these little dots. There, kind of like that. Just that a little bit. Perfect. Alright, so we're going to grab the line tool again and make vertical lines at all the different points. And this will help when you're revolving the sketch, because this is a very, very simple type of canopy, but it still looks fantastic once you're done. There we go, perfect. So now you come over here to revolve. We want to select all of these little boxes basically. Choose our revolve axis, which is going to be the bottom line that we made before, and we're going to change it from full to symmetric. Alright, now revolve angle we want 200 degrees. And that is about perfect right there. Finish, and we can bring that skin back. Perfect. And that's pretty good looking how it is. Looks very nice, it's pretty clean, and it should build very nicely. Have a look there. It's looking like a plane, minus the wings. Pretty cool. And thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for part 2.